Zhu Fan pays a visit to his imprisoned father, hoping to uncover the truth about the disastrous monster outbreak that occurred 8 years ago in City S. The incident labeled Zhuo Hui, Zhu Fan's father, as a traitor for allegedly fleeing the city during the battle. Zhuo Fan has suffered the consequences of his father's stigma his whole life and demands to know what really happened. However, his father refuses to divulge any information and instead urges Zhuo Fan to escape the city, change his identity, and live freely. As Zhuo Fan leaves, he is informed by the officers that the visiting fee has tripled. Determined to earn more money, Zhuo Fan comes up with a plan and approaches Uncle Gao, a mercenary, to assign him an E-rank mission. Initially, Uncle Gao believes Zhuo Fan is not yet capable of handling such advanced missions. However, Zhuo Fan persists and convinces Uncle Gao, who assigns him a dangerous E-rank mission. He meets Mu Yinyue, the combat party leader. Mu Yinyue, an intermediate rank Starfall warrior, catches Zhuo Fan's attention with her impressive Starfall equipment. It's a rare sight, as only warriors of intermediate rank can wield such advanced gear. Zhuo Fan realizes that Mu Yinyue is around the same age as him, reminding him that those under 20 years old who are intermediate rank Starfall warriors are often recognized as prodigies. As Zhuo Fan is handed the mission contract, he takes a moment to assess the team. With 6 members in total, most of them are novice rank warriors. 2 of them stand out as intermediate rank warriors equipped with Starfall gear. This reassures Zhuo Fan that the mission will be a cakewalk for him and an opportunity to freeload. The team dives into the treacherous E-rank monster den area of City X, a hotbed infested with dangerous creatures. Zhuo Fan confidently launches an arrow towards a fish lizard to bait the monster, but to his surprise, the arrow bounces harmlessly off its flesh. It seems these monsters are faster and more resilient than the intelligence had suggested. Zhuo Fan takes charge, leading the monster towards his group, where Mu Yinyue and Mu Hanhu make quick work of annihilating the beast. But just as the monster launches its dying counterattack, Zhuo Fan is unexpectedly pushed towards it by Mu Zhe, who sees him as mere cannon fodder. Zhuo Fan miraculously survives the encounter, barely escaping unscathed. Suddenly he hears a voice, indicating that he has successfully slain an E-rank monster for the first time, triggering system activation. Though skeptical, Zhuo Fan wonders if he might be hallucinating. After their victory, the group gathers to share a meal. However, Mu Zhe takes this opportunity to ridicule Zhuo Fan, belittling his chances of ever becoming an intermediate rank warrior due to his limited physical aptitude. These words sting. Zhuo Fan, challenging his determination. As night falls and the others drift off to sleep, Yinyue and Zhuo Fan remain awake to keep watch. During their walk, the ground beneath them cracks open, swallowing them both. As they plummet into the abyss, Zhuo Fan catches a glimpse of 2 menacing red eyes, fixated on their descent. The duo navigates through the passage, believing that its collapse was caused by a geological issue. Zhuo Fan's prior knowledge helps them choose their path towards the exit. However, their progress is interrupted when Yinyue's sword alerts her to the presence of several bloodthirsty E-rank monsters rapidly approaching. In a split second, the monsters emerge, ready to attack. Recognizing that Zhuo Fan would only be dead weight, Yinyue quickly pushes him aside, despite his offers of help. She effortlessly dispatches all of the monsters, leaving Zhuo Fan in awe of her power. Witnessing her skills, he begins to question just how tough Yinyue truly is. As one of the slain monsters launches an attack towards Zhuo Fan, he manages to dodge the strike successfully, swiftly defeating the creature. Once again, the mysterious voice chimes in, indicating that Zhuo Fan's system adaptation speed has increased. Having eradicated all the monsters, they proceed towards the exit, only to find it blocked. Suddenly, Yinyue shocks Zhuo Fan by bringing her sword to his throat, leaving him shocked and uncertain of her intentions. Yinyue retracts her sword, revealing to Zhuo Fan that their predicament couldn't have been a mere coincidence. They were intentionally set up. Yinyue discloses the infighting within the Starfall family, where the Iron Rule states that the strong survive while the weak perish. To rise within a Starfall family, one must complete their family's monster den hunting mission and face opponents from their own kin. Zuofan's memory jogs, reminding him of another possible exit. Determined to escape, they sprint towards it, but their hopes are abruptly dashed when they are bombarded with a barrage of arrows. Yinyue leaps into action, tackling Zuofan and managing to save him, though she sustains a wound as an arrow pierces through her shoulder. As Yinyue grapples with the poisoned arrow, Zuofan swiftly retrieves an antidote and gives it to her. In the midst of this tense moment, Mu Hanhu unveils himself as the mastermind behind the attack. Admitting his betrayal, he detonates a bomb, causing devastation and collapsing everything in their vicinity. Mu Hanhu flees with the rest of their former group. Mu Hanhu had cunningly mixed fish-lizard lure into the poison, causing the monsters to be drawn towards Yinyue. Despite her valiant efforts, Yinyue's powers were waning, and she couldn't continue the fight for much longer. Even the antidote would become useless if this continued. As Zuofan racks his brain for any alternative exits, a realization dawns upon him. There was one exit, located 3 intersections away. They push forward, but the relentless pursuit of monsters makes their escape challenging. Yinyue urges Zuofan to save himself, but he refuses to leave her behind. He knows that if he does, he will be seen as the scapegoat. Resolute, Zuofan clears the path to the exit and calls for Yinyue to join him. Just as they make their escape, they are greeted by a horde of monsters waiting for them in the open. Exhausted and unable to fight any longer, Yinyue collapses to the ground. Fueled by determination, Zuofan takes hold of Yinyue's sword and slays one monster, only to be faced with dozens more. Suddenly, the familiar voice speaks once again, announcing the completion of energy gathering. In a surprising turn of events, Zuofan finds himself being lifted into the air. After experiencing a surge of power, Zuofan finds himself empowered by 100 start points, which exponentially enhances his mind, physique, strength, and agility. His wounds appear to have miraculously healed, and he feels an unprecedented level of strength coursing through him. Seizing the Starfall weapon, a sword that provides an additional 45 points of strength, he effortlessly takes down one beast after another. The newfound agility he possesses bewilders him. In an unstoppable pursuit, Zuofan continues to slay the beasts that cross his path, further augmenting his stats. With the area momentarily safe, he carries Yinyue's lifeless body to a secure location, knowing that the fish lizards will remain put for a while. Now he can focus his attention on the dire matter at hand, saving Yinyue. Zuofan takes action and places the skunk monster regiment on Yinyue to eliminate the fish lizard lure smell. With that problem resolved, he can now focus on the mystery surrounding his own body. Realization dawns upon him as he discovers that the pendant, crafted from meteor fragments from a starfall, holds the war god system within it. Determined to make the most of his newfound strength, Zuofan devises a method to distribute his earned attributes towards enhancing his physical power. Eager to put his strength to the test, he lures a fearsome fish lizard towards him. In a display of effortless prowess, he swiftly slays the creature, a task that had once seemed impossible to accomplish. He becomes aware that for every monster he defeats, he gains 3 additional attributes. With enough kills and points accumulated, he may have a chance to rescue his father. The time has come for him to embark on a relentless hunt, driven by the hope of saving his father. Zuofan embarks on an ambitious hunting expedition, ruthlessly slaying dozens of monsters. Through his victories, he accumulates enough attributes to attain the level of an intermediate star warrior. However, he soon realizes that from now on, he will only gain 1 attribute per monster slain. Brimming with newfound confidence as an intermediate star warrior, Zuofan feels assured that escaping the tunnel will not pose a significant challenge as long as he avoids encounters with higher-ranked monsters. But fate has other plans when he unexpectedly encounters a formidable double-headed mutated crocodile. Zuofan returns to Yinyue, tending to her injuries. As she regains consciousness, he divulges the entirety of their dangerous journey. Yin Yue is both impressed by his hidden strength and puzzled as to how he managed to conceal it for so long. Zuo Fan reveals the identity of his father, expecting backlash. Unfazed by his revelations, she expresses remorse for involving Zuo Fan in her family's internal conflict. Their conversation takes a decisive turn when Zuo Fan discloses the existence of the daunting double-headed mutated crocodile, which they must defeat to secure their escape from this treacherous place. Together, they resolve to confront the mutated monster, understanding that victory can only be achieved by wielding the full power of the meteorite sword. Zuo Fan and Yin Yue meticulously strategize their approach to conquering the mutant monster. Recognizing Yin Yue's incapacitation, she entrusts Zuo Fan with the responsibility of wielding the sword to its maximum power. The key lies in creating a sword light through a process known as resonating with the embedded monster core, which greatly enhances the blade's sharpness. However, sustaining this heightened power proves challenging as the monster core eventually exhausts itself after a few uses. As Zuo Fan grasps the sword, he feels an absence of the wanted resonance he seeks. Despite a relentless day of slaying fish lizards, he wonders why he has not achieved this level of connection. Just then, the enigmatic voice resurfaces, revealing that activating the Starfall weapon requires the expenditure of 10 points. Nervously, Zuo Fan decides to allocate the points, and, to his surprise, the Starfall weapon ignites instantaneously. Yin Yue, in awe of his rapid progress, ponders the depths of his newfound power. Truly formidable. With the Starfall weapon activated, they launch their assault on the mutant monster. Zuo Fan finds himself desperately struggling against the mutant monster, facing constant setbacks as the creature easily evades his attacks and throws him aside with its powerful tail. Doubt creeps in as he realizes his lack of skill, making escape seem like the only viable option. Yin Yue, concerned for Zuo Fan's safety, implores him to retreat before sustaining further injuries. In a critical moment, however, Zuo Fan experiences a profound realization. He comprehends the dire consequences that loom over him and Yin Yue if he fails to defeat the monster. Knowing that his father might face a death sentence, he resolves to fight with unwavering determination, even if it means meeting his end. This intense resolve triggers a momentous awakening, a new skill known as perception. Empowered by this newfound talent, Zuo Fan unleashes a flurry of attacks, finally overpowering and defeating the monster. Yin Yue can only stare in shock at this remarkable display of strength and resilience. Upon finally escaping the treacherous tunnel, Yin Yue expresses her gratitude to Zuo Fan for his unwavering assistance. However, Zuo Fan dismisses her thanks, urging her to drop the formalities as they are no longer strangers. Their sweet moments are brought to a sour halt. As they reach the exit of the monster den, they unexpectedly encounter Muzi, who had been instructed by Mu Hanhu to wait for them if they managed to escape. Seeking to satisfy his own desires and assert his dominance over Yin Yue, Mu Zhe commands his thugs to eliminate Zuo Fan. Unbeknownst to him, Zuo Fan has acquired newfound power. With astonishing ease, Zuo Fan swiftly defeats the two thugs, leaving Mu Zhe astounded. Realizing the depth of the threat before him, Mu Zhe dispatches all his men to confront Zuo Fan. Setting Yin Yue down safely, Zuo Fan demonstrates his remarkable skills by effortlessly subduing all of Mu Zhe's men, determined to settle the score once and for all. Mu Zhe, desperate for mercy and forgiveness, pleads with Zuo Fan after Zuo Fan cut off his arm when he tried to escape. Despite his pleas, Mu Zhe foolishly launches another attack, only to be swiftly and decisively defeated by Zuo Fan, this time with fatal consequences. With the den finally left behind, a rescue team arrives for Yin Yue, and she shares her contact information with Zuo Fan, urging him to reach out to her. However, the disapproval of Yin Yue's butler looms heavily over their budding relationship due to Zuo Fan's infamous lineage as the son of a traitor. Meanwhile, officials pay a visit to Zuo Hui in prison, greeting their old acquaintance as they reach his cell. Unaware of this meeting, Zuo Fan makes his way to the prison with the intention of finally greeting his father and initiating his long-awaited rescue. To his astonishment, he encounters the unimaginable a floating prison housing China's most notorious criminals, leaving him at a loss for words. With the daunting knowledge that no one has ever survived the sky prison, Zuo Fan is consumed by resolve as he rushes into the facility, desperate yearning to see his father. Reaching the prison's rooftop, he witnesses his father Zuo Hui in handcuffs being escorted towards the menacing sky prison. The officials attempt to intervene, but Zuo Fan's strength surprises them all as he fiercely fights back. Demonstrating his extraordinary power, Zuo Fan astounds everyone on the roof, earning their respect. Finally, they permit him to say goodbye to his father. Zuo Hui, overwhelmed with pride because of his son, reveals that he never betrayed their country and implores his son to visit the military base in Jining City. It is there that Zuo Fan will find the evidence of his father's innocence, locked away in a safe deposit box. Zuo Hui shares the password to access the restricted area of the base, setting Zuo Fan on a new mission. With heavy hearts, they escort Zuo Hui to the sky prison, leaving Zuo Fan to fulfill his newfound purpose. Determined and resolute, Zuo Fan embarks on a journey that promises to uncover the truth and restore his father's honor. Fan, now an intermediate star warrior, finds himself still adjusting to his newfound strength. In the midst of his journey, he receives a call from Uncle Gao, urging him to visit his office to collect some important items. Without hesitation, Fan prepares himself and rushes to Uncle Gao's office. Upon arrival, he is handed Jinning City's required certificate and city pass, along with his novice Star Warrior pass. Grateful for Uncle Gao's assistance, Fan bids him farewell, promising to return. However, the weight of the upcoming mission hangs heavily on his heart, and Uncle Gao reminds him of the dangers he will face, emphasizing the importance of his safe return. While en route to the trade center, Fan's phone rings, and to his delight, it is his old friend, Li Wei. Li Wei had always stood by Fan's side during the difficult times when his father was accused of being a traitor. They make plans to meet later in the day, eager to reunite and catch up on all that has transpired since they last saw each other. Fan, a devoted fan of fish lizards, managed to sell some valuable fish lizard material and made a substantial $31,000. However, he couldn't help but feel a pang of regret that he hadn't gathered more. If only he had, he could have earned $1 million. While at the trade center, he unexpectedly sees Lu Jia, the partner of his friend Li Wei, but little did he know that she was actually a skilled Starfall warrior. Deciding to leave her be for now, Fan planned to greet her later when he met up with Li Wei. Feeling disappointed, Fan approached the blacksmiths, hoping to use his mutated E-rank monster core to strengthen his weapon. Unfortunately, he learned that only expert blacksmiths in larger cities were capable of such advanced work. Just as he was about to leave, feeling disheartened, security called him back, and Zhu Nian, a member of the staff, asked about his request and requested the monster core for appraisal. However, Fan insisted that he would discuss the matter only with the blacksmith himself. As Zhu Nian revealed herself as an advanced blacksmith, she demanded to see the true warrior who had slain the mutant monster. She found it hard to believe that someone as young as Fan, with a novice title, could be capable of such a feat. However, Fan insisted that it was indeed him. Though skeptical, Zhu Nian asked Fan to follow her. Leading him to her workstation, she began forging his sword, explaining that the reforging process was relatively simple. However, embedding an E-rank mutant monster core was a different matter altogether. Zhu Nian informed Fan that when the monster core was fused with the Starfall weapon, a surge of rampaging energy would burst forth. To contain and surpass this explosion, a powerful Starfall warrior was required, preferably the one who had slain the monster. She suggested that Fan call a parent or guardian to undertake this task, but Fan reassured her that he was up to the challenge. When the time came to suppress the energy, Fan effortlessly accomplished it, leaving Zhu Nian in awe. Even the strongest Starfall warriors would face resistance, but Fan managed the task effortlessly. Realizing her mistake, Zhu Nian apologized for doubting Fan's abilities, and in return, Fan apologized as well. From that moment on, Zhu Nian insisted that Fan refer to her as Big Sis. She generously offered him a 30% discount on all future Starfall equipment, crafted by her, and even gifted him a black card VIP quota. Fan heads towards the weapon testing area to put his new weapon to the test, with the guidance of a Star Marshal coach. He uses his black card VIP card to fight with a Star Marshal coach to test out his weapon. His opponent for the match is none other than Jia-tan, an advanced Star Warrior. As they step into the arena, Fan senses the immense power emanating from Jia-tan, reminiscent of the woman he had clashed with while trying to prevent his father's imprisonment in Sky Prison. The fight commences, and despite Fan's skill and power, Jia-tan proves to be a formidable adversary. Tan reminds Fan that this isn't a mere sparring session, but a true weapon test. It's time to go all out. Inspired, Fan taps into the full potential of his meteorite sword, unleashing its tremendous power, and the two warriors engage in a ferocious battle. Tan, filled with terror, realizes that he accidentally used his E-rank strength during the fight. Concerned, he asks Fan if he has been injured and offers to cover any medical expenses. He apologizes for his inadvertent display of power, but Fan reassures him that it's not a significant issue. Struck by Fan's kindness, Tan suggests that Fan reach out if he ever needs help and warns him about the untapped potential within his sword, emphasizing the need to learn E-rank sword skills. Intrigued, Fan decides to name his sword Bone Penetration. Meanwhile, Tan tends to his wound, grateful that his shoulder wasn't severed due to his use of E-rank strength. At the train station, Fan's attention is drawn to a familiar voice. He recognizes Li Wei. To his dismay, he sees that bullies have surrounded Li Wei and Lu Jia, accusing them of stealing a monster core. The situation escalates as the bullies move aggressively towards Lu Jia, but Li Wei valiantly shields her, vowing not to let anyone harm her. In the nick of time, Fan appears on the scene and protects Li Wei. He takes on the bullies single-handedly, swiftly subduing them. Just as the bullies are about to recover, Tan appears, adding to their fear and ensuring their retreat is swift. Tan, making a firm decision, calls for a round of punishment for the bullies. He checks their records and realizes that their offense qualifies them for prison. Meanwhile, Fan, Li Wei, and Lu Jia head to a nearby restaurant where they express their gratitude to Fan for his timely rescue. They spend some time catching up, and as the evening approaches, Fan bids them farewell, hopeful that they will reunite again soon. As Fan arrives in Jining City, he immediately notices the stark difference in size compared to his hometown. It's clear that Jining City boasts the strongest combat force in the southern region. The guards stationed outside the mercenary building possess a level of strength comparable to that of a Starfall warrior. Fan meets up with Ru Ji, who warmly greets him and asks if he has found any work yet. Assuring Fan that being in Jining City increases his chances, Ru Ji encourages him to be patient, as he will surely find employment in a few days. However, Fan has a different mission in mind. An announcement is made in the mercenary building regarding a joint operation between the military and the mercenaries. The top 10 participants in this operation will be offered positions as security consultants at the prestigious Ghost Rain military base. This opportunity becomes Fan's breakthrough moment, and he eagerly sets his sights on it. Fan ascends to the second floor as the participants are called to join the operation. Ruji becomes concerned when she sees Fan participating and manages to convince Pupan to recruit him. With everything set, Fan boards the train headed towards the Yu Mountains, where the joint operation is set to take place. This area is known for its dense population of monsters, although their ranks do not exceed D rank. The goal of the joint operation is to acquire points by eliminating monsters, with higher-ranking monsters granting more points. The operation is scheduled to last for 3 days, and in order to secure a spot in the top 10, Fan must attain a score of at least 600 points. The minimum requirement to maintain eligibility for rewards is 500 points. It becomes clear to Fan that if he wants a steady position within the top 10, he will need to exceed this minimum threshold by a significant margin. The stage is set for Fan to prove his worth and make his mark in this high-stakes operation. As Fan embarks on his first encounter, he faces the Rain Rock Spider, an F-rank monster. Although an F-rank monster is relatively easy for Fan to defeat, He becomes aware of the spider's ability to travel in large groups, potentially numbering in the millions. However, these spiders present a unique challenge as they establish their dens and hunt any nearby living creatures, therefore driving away other monsters from the area. In response, Fan cleverly utilizes his willow footwork skill to outmaneuver and defeat the spiders. Realizing that he cannot afford to waste time on F-rank monsters if he wants to secure a spot within the top 10, Fan sets his sights on finding E-rank monsters. These stronger adversaries will provide him with the necessary points to solidify his position in the competition. With determination in his heart, Fan presses onward, ready to face greater challenges and prove himself as a formidable contender. In the depths of the woods, an unknown assailant had ruthlessly injured Pupan, leaving him wounded and desperate to escape. With each step he took, the pursuer drew closer, and Pupan found himself unwittingly stumbling into the lair of the deadly rainrock spiders. Just as he braced himself for the impending attack, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was Fan, coincidentally appearing just in the nick of time to fend off the monstrous creatures. Realizing the gravity of Pupan's situation, Fan explained that he should not continue on with his mission while injured. It would be wiser to wait for the arrival of the reinforcement team. However, Pupan harbored a strong determination and cunning plan to keep Fan by his side for protection. Tempting Fan with the promise of teaching him his extraordinary E-rank footwork skill, the Willow Flash, Pupan managed to convince him to stay. Fan, initially doubting the young 15-year-old's abilities, was taken aback to discover that Pupan was indeed the renowned fighter, Panhao's son. Understanding the weight of Panhao's legacy, Fan reluctantly agreed to learn the coveted skill. In return, Pupan requested that once Fan dealt with the spiders, he would take him deeper into the treacherous mountains. However, their tense conversation was abruptly interrupted when the door of a nearby warehouse burst open, allowing entry to 3 heavily armored men. It became clear that they were searching for Pupan. Sensing the danger, Pupan implored Fan to leave and deliver a message to his father, asking for vengeance. After finding out that these men were from the Li family, Fan was determined to avenge his father's betrayal by the Li family. Fan's anger surged as he launched himself into battle against the intruders. As Fan skillfully activated his heightened perception, he engaged in a fierce battle against the 3 armed men. However, it quickly became apparent that facing all 3 simultaneously was a daunting challenge. Recognizing the need for a strategic approach, Fan huddled with Pupan, devising a plan to eliminate one of the assailants. Unfortunately, this bold move only served to further enrage the remaining 2 thugs. Just when it seemed that all hope was lost, a sudden epiphany struck Fan like a lightning bolt. Activating his E-rank footwork skill, augmented by harnessing 10 attributes, Fan effortlessly dispatched the 2 remaining adversaries. Pupan, bewildered by this extraordinary display of strength, wondered why he had offered to protect Fan in the first place. With a heavy sigh, Pupan revealed that Li Longwo, driven by his relentless pursuit of glory, had orchestrated the ambush. Setting his sights on claiming first place in the joint operation, Li Longwo had taken this opportunity to target Pupan. Now that Pupan was injured, Li Longwo saw an advantage forming in his favor, one that he believed would almost certainly secure his coveted victory. As Fan carried Pupan deeper into the woods, they encountered their next opponent, a formidable E-rank creature known as the Vine Python. With his unparalleled skill, Fan effortlessly eliminated the creature, extracting its liver as proof of their conquest. Curious about the motivations driving Pupan and Li Longwo to aim for first place in the operation, Fan inquired further. Pupan explained that the reward for securing first place was an artifact, a rare item even more elusive than a mutated monster core. This artifact possessed the power to greatly enhance the growth of a Star Warrior, but it required over 1,000 points to obtain. Realizing the potential, Fan resolved to amass the necessary points and attributes, which led them to confront their next challenge. A pack of knife-horn iron mill wolves, numerous and worth thousands of points. Collaborating as a team, Fan and Pupan tackled the formidable wolves head-on. Meanwhile, Li Longwo had already accumulated a formidable 932 points. Utilizing two groups to aid his cause, he continued his relentless pursuit of points. Fan, driven by his desire to excel, dispatched the pack of wolves, accumulating an impressive 10-14 points. However, he knew that more points would be required to achieve his ultimate goal. As Fan and Pupan savored their meal, their moment of respite was abruptly interrupted by the appearance of a fearsome adversary, the Broken Blade Iron Fur Wolf, a D-rank king monster. The sheer power and ferocity of the creature made it clear that defeating it would prove impossible. With no other choice, they hastily decided to flee. However, to their dismay, the monster displayed unmatched speed, relentlessly pursuing them. Fan, fueled by his determination, valiantly launched a sword attack, only to find his blade unable to pierce the wolf's impenetrable fur. Realizing the dire situation, Fan utilized the attributes he had recently acquired to enhance his combat skills. Putting his newfound abilities to the test, Fan courageously engaged the monster once again. This time, he managed to cut through the creature's tough skin, albeit only barely. Recognizing the slim chances of victory, Fan wisely decided to retreat, reassessing their strategy for a more opportune moment. After narrowly escaping the wolf, Fan and Pupan were suddenly confronted by a group of individuals consisting of 2 intermediate Star Warriors and 3 novice Star Warriors. In that moment, Fan couldn't help but wonder if Pupan was a harbinger of bad luck. Despite these doubts, they united their strengths and effortlessly defeated the group, leaving them begging for mercy and seizing their 150 points. Continuing their journey deeper into the woods, they stumbled upon a chilling sight. The ground was littered with lifeless bodies. The question arose, had they stumbled upon a monstrous creature? Their uncertainty swiftly dispersed as the notorious Snake Twins of the Lai family emerged from the shadows. These advanced Star Warriors, skilled in the art of assassination, cornered Fan and Pupan. To further complicate matters, 3 crossbow-wielding shooters joined the menacing group. It was at this critical juncture that Fan faced the looming possibility of his death. Fan and Pupan managed to evade the clutches of the Snake Twins and the crossbow shooters, but their survival depended on swiftly devising a plan. In a daring move, Pupan suggested sacrificing himself for Fan's escape. However, Fan revealed his own deep-rooted hatred for the Lee family, stemming from their betrayal of his father. Determined to avenge their loved ones, they united their minds and crafted a strategy. Prompting the twins and shooters to pursue them, Fan and Pupan embarked on a frantic foot race, desperately fleeing their relentless pursuers. To buy themselves some time, Pupan cunningly deployed a strategy involving the use of weasel's dung to deter the monsters temporarily. The twins and shooters doggedly tracked their every move, even following them to the very end of the valley. But as fate would have it, the tables turned against the pursuers when they stumbled upon the formidable knife-horn iron mill wolf. It became clear that Fan and Pupan had expertly orchestrated a trap, leaving the twins and shooters to grapple with an unexpected and dangerous opponent. From their vantage point, Fan and Pupan observed the intense clash unfolding in the valley below. The knife-horn iron mill wolf ruthlessly targeted the crossbow shooters, eliminating them one by one. Realizing the monster's strategy, the twins desperately attempted to trap the wolf using their equipment, but they faltered in their efforts. With one final coordinated strike, the twins met their demise, but not without leaving the venom of their curses up on Fan and Pupan, vowing revenge even in death. Seizing the opportunity, Fan and Pupan swiftly dispatched any remaining shooters before turning their attention to the wounded wolf. Utilizing their skills, they launched a fierce assault, crippling the wolf and significantly injuring it. Determined to claim victory, Fan and Pupan acquired the twins' monster binding rope along with 300 hard-earned points. As the injured wolf limped away, they pursued it relentlessly, driven by their need to defeat this foe. As they follow the wolf to its nest, it soon succumbs to its injuries, leaving behind valuables that are estimated to be worth billions. Continuing deeper into the cave, they stumble upon a gruesome scene, indicating a battle between menacing creatures. Claw marks adorn the walls, suggesting the wolf's desperate attempts to escape. Pupan insists that Fan ascends to investigate what lies above. Climbing to the top, Fan discovers a multitude of fox eagles around a tree, suggesting that this tree might be the epicenter of the clash. Is it possible that there are valuable artifacts hidden among the mutated branches? However, a chilling presence fills the air, far more terrifying than the Wolf King. Could this be a high-ranking war general among the monsters?
Hey viewers, subscribe for more.